Good morning, good evening, race fans. I'm stuck in the morning. You're all in the future in Australia. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? It's Tasman Racing League. It's the big one. It's the Oval Series. We're here for round number 2 after a doozy at Daytona. We're in for a cracker here at Charlotte. Oh yes, what an oval course. This little bad boy is put together back in 1960, of course. It looked exactly as it does now. Some new grandstands, some new in-field infrastructure. And we have some of the finest oval racing action out there. And we've even, well, I say the royal we've even limited the number of tyres that the drivers have at their disposal this week. Meaning tyre wear. Our tyre management and strategy is going to be absolutely key, beyond anything we have seen so far. Of course, we have championship standings to look at. Let me get rid. Oh, they've gone as well. There we go. The championship standings look very much like the race 1 results, of course. Lewis Bahadur bringing home the win. Bagged himself 101 points. Dylan De Bono came home in second place. And of course, Nicholas Heath joining them on the podium ahead of Hutchins and Llewellyn's in 4th and 5th. Rob Tilley got himself 6th with Boone Blake picking up 66 points. In fact, 67. He got himself a style point as well. After an incredible off-track avoidance, which was absolute Jedi reflexes, Boone picks up the point. Matthew Serrell, Michael Sanders and Daniel Hutchins rounding out the top 10. Lucas Blake had a tough start to the season. Best he could do was 11th, with Kieran Lash in 12th. Damien Coates in 13th. Williams and Johnson and Austin bringing up the rear of the field. Jared Gilbert no points as yet. And that is how today starts off. As you can see, the drivers are already out in a lone qualifying session around this absolutely incredible 1.5 mile. Yes, exactly. 1.5 mile track. And in fact, you can see the live shots there as the driver's out, although that just stuttered. But there we go. So yeah, as I say, we're here for the race today at Charlotte, and it's going to be an absolute corker. So make sure you stay. Oh, there we go. We are just checking live as well. Give us a hello in the chat as well. Let us know who you are cheering on for the 100 laps today. So as I mentioned, 3 sets of tyres for the drivers. One, of course, to start on. 2 to change to. So you're looking at over 30 laps per set of tyre. Oh, the limit was unfortunately not enforced. Okay, so the drivers have carte blanche to run amok with the tyres. Right, we'll see. That will make a few changes to the driver's strategies, I think. We don't have many of them out on track. Yeah, qualifying is almost finished. We will be down on track very shortly indeed. In fact, let me just check and see how we are in fact getting on. Yeah, still rolling quality session, so as I say, we'll jump down, but unfortunately the tyres have not been limited. We'll hopefully get that in place for next week. Keep the drivers well and truly on their toes. We've got Mike in the chat cheering on Jason. Let's go, Jason. That would be Jason Hutchins, of course. 420 Oz Racing. Good to see Jason getting cheered on in the chat. Now this one. So there we go. Yeah, lone qualifying, sorry, we'll be finished in a moment and we'll be straight down on track. 100 lap race, of course. We finished last week under yellow flag, a rare occurrence in NASCAR, not even a green and white yellow. We did finish under yellow flag last week after a crash past the allotted number of race laps we were due to run. We'll see if we have the same again this week. It would certainly be an interesting turn-up to get it 2 weeks on the trot. This is a very tricky course. Very tricky course. The way the banking works on this, the tyres are going to get absolutely chewed through, and of course we've got the double kink on the start-finish. So we've got turns 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then across the start-finish line, this interesting double kink to the left. A very tricky pit entrance as well. So the drivers, I mean, they've dodged the bullet there, let's be fair, because if they had only 3 sets of tyres, it would certainly make it a far more challenging race, given the pit entrance itself, as well as the rest of the track. We'll get a good look at the banking very shortly. We'll get some gyro cam once we're on board with the drivers. They are gridding up at the moment, and then we'll be out. As I say, it's 100 laps the drivers have got to do around here, which is no mean feat in itself, that's for sure. And in fact, we do have the starting grid, and it is Lucas Blake looking to bounce back after last week's disappointment. He finds himself in first place. Behadger second, Drew Collins third, but Matthew Serrell in fourth. It's Llewellyn and Hutchins on road 3, Manuel Dodra in 7th, Tilley in 8th, Hutchins and Brendan Johnson rounding out the top 10. Then it's Bradley Austin, Michael Sanders, Matthew Colvin and Nicholas Heath bringing up the rear in 14th position. And yep, that is the sound of engines. You can see the drivers are indeed lining up, so let's get down to trackside, and we'll see the drivers, there we go, off and running behind the pace car for their warm-up lap, of course. So yeah, we'll do a lap behind the pace car and then we'll get them off and running. So, yeah, there we go. Get a good look at the cars, get a first look, proper look at the track as well. In fact, if we so here you can see just how much banking is actually involved here. It's a fair bit going side by side round here with side draft, another car drafting behind you. It makes it an interesting proposition, especially if you're on that outside line. But here we go, the drivers are lining up. It is 2 by 2 and there we go, there is the race and we are away, and it is a good start by the top 2, but it's a better start by Lewis Behadger. He's gone right round the outside of Lucas Blake, 2 of the main championship protagonists from last season, going at it right out of turn 1 here in the opening lap, and it is Behadger on the outside line, single line forming behind Behadger on the outside line, and that's where Lucas Blake falls in. So it's Behadger who's got himself very nicely into the lead already. Let me just see. There we go, get a slightly wider camera, perfection. Yes, so Behadger with a solid start to the race. Matthew Serrell hanging on well. Drew Collins drops a position to Serrell while Hutchins stays where he started. Tilley and Dodra, they've also changed positions as well. You can see the field instantly spread out. Behadger with an absolute stormer of a breakaway there. He's got himself a good gap over Blake already. Matthew Serrell, as I say, up that position. Nicholas Heath starting at the back of the grid. He's managed to get the drop on Sanders and Colvin so far. We'll see what the Colonel can cook up in the kitchen of Charlotte this evening. Yes, I've waited all week to say that, and I'm not even going to apologise. Rob Tilley, oh, we've got a car off track. Oh, no yellow flag. That is Rob Tilley, who suddenly dropped down the order for apparently no reason, and he's just dropped off the course and finds himself right down at the back of the grid. No such pose, though, for one Lewis Bahadur. He has Lucas Blake now closing right back up on him. As you can see, Blake doing well in the slipstream to hang on to him here. He has got quite the race on his hands. You can see the line the drivers have to take. Listen to the tyre squeal all the way around that bend. That's how severe the banking is. The drivers probably lose about 3.5-4 millimetres of rubber easy every time they go through one of these corners. They've got to do 2 per lap on the outside bump. Lucas Blake really is putting the pressure on Bahadur. They don't have, let's see where Matthew Serrell is. He's a little bit behind. He's got a great view of this battle, to be fair. Now, as you can see, that's what he's got going on ahead of him. The 2 drivers trying to find a bit of track position, and Lucas Blake trying to craft his way out and overtake. I think he's going to try and go into a bit of tyre saving mode here and just use that slipstream, maybe even a bit of fuel saving, although he's run a little bit wide there. Pulls it back in line, almost bouncing off the wall. As Matthew Serrell keeping this one exceptionally interesting for the moment, with Bahadur still breaking away. Great start to the race by Bradley Austin. He's got Dodra just ahead of him. He's already made up 3 spots on the start, so a few of the cars have dropped by the wayside. Certainly Bradley Austin more than happy to pick up the points. Oh, as he picks up a bit of a tank slapper there, you have to be so careful. Is that a Supra? Yes, it is. Is that the loose back end of a Supra? Of course it is. It's a Supra. Here we go on board with the Chevy though of Lucas Blake chasing down Bahadur. It's Lucas. It's LB versus LB for the lead, and the 2 of them have got quite the lead already. Matthew Serrell is still keeping an eye on them, and in fact he's got 2 cars looking to join him. They can maybe work together, the 3 of them, to catch up, but at the moment it is still Bahadur versus Blake up at the front of the field. There's only, and there's how easy it is to lose the back of these cars coming off that bank, and I did mention it in the opening, and we could well see a fair bit of that throughout the race. We've got quite a few cameras. Now there we can see a great shot along the back straight and into the banking. Once again it is Bahadur with the lead, Blake in 2nd, Serrell in 3rd, Ryan Llewellyn in 4th position, Drew Collins down 2 to 5th, Jason Hutchins and Manuel Dodra 6th and 7th respectively. That's where they started, so a good start for them. And Bradley Austin up 3 positions still, and he is catching back up to Dodra. We've got Hutchins, who he started in 9th, he's still in 9th, and then we've got Sanders, Heath and Colvin all making improvements. Rob Tilley still down at the back of the field. He is very much in no man's land, unfortunately for him at the minute. I would love to know what the off-track excursion was for, or why, but certainly it's left him way down on the field. He'll be home for a yellow flag soon, and at the moment that is looking pretty unlikely with the spacings that we've got between the drivers. We've got the interval. Let's get that gain up there as well so we can see exactly the positions that have chopped and changed so far. In the race, it is still the top 2 though. Absolutely solid start they've got up the front. Bahadur will be very, very, very happy indeed managing to get the drop on Lucas. Lucas now got to play this one very cleverly. As I mentioned, the tyres here will go through. The drivers have fortunately dodged the 3 tyre rule on this one. We'll see if we can get that up and running for next week, so that does make their decisions that little bit easier as far as pitting goes under safety car, if we actually see any safety cars here. I did think we would see one on lap 1 because turn 1 can be tricky on those cold tyres, but the drivers having an absolute worldie of a start, all of them, except of course Rob Tilley. Hutchins is still running, Bradley Austin still having a very solid start to the race, and he is managing to close back in on Dodra. He got close to slipstream, sent the back of the car, the old tank slapper extraordinaire. He managed to gather it back in, and he is still chasing down Dodra for the moment. The two of them lapping very similar times indeed. We'll keep an eye though on the two up at the front, because 2 could well soon become 3, as Matthew Serrell is putting in a lot of good work to catch up to the 2 that have made this left foot suspension. There we go. So these 2 making a bit of a breakaway up at the front initially, but they're now being joined fairly wholeheartedly by Matthew Serrell. He's no stranger to chasing down podium positions, and we're in the early stages. Are certainly looking good in the early stages. We're already 13 laps into this, out with 100 that we've got to get through. Oh, and that's a bit of a bump at the wall there by Lucas Blake. That is going to slow his momentum, and as we can see, so much closer Matthew Serrell is this time around, and so much further away is Lucas Blake, and you can see just how much that little touch of the ball has compromised Blake. He has got Serrell all over that Mountain Dew rear spoiler, and in fact Serrell positions himself onto the inside line. Blake is in a nightmare scenario now. He's going to have to go defensive, or he's going to have to give this position up and start following it, and it looks like he's going to go for the give up the position and follow. An astute strategy, it has to be said. Oh no, he's popped right back out in front. He's got a fight on his hands if he's going to hold on to this one though. Serrell, as you can see there, he is right up under that rear spoiler. Lewis Bahadur is looking in the rear view mirror. He has a large grin on his face at the moment, given the battle that his main championship protagonist rival is involved in at the moment. And Serrell, well, it looks like he's almost half backed out of that one there, just to make sure there wasn't any contact through. It's okay to bump draft in these cars, but you certainly don't want to do it on the bends unless you are Herculean brave, I believe would be the correct expression. And at the moment, yeah, no one needs to show quite that much bravery given the early stage of the race. The early pace though is all with Lewis Bahadur. He is absolutely flying. You can see a good gap he's got between these two, and it is these two that are battling away to keep the podium fight alive. Serrell still hunting that down. Drew Collins in 4th place could find himself catching up here if he can get joined by Ryan Llewellyn. Just needs Llewellyn to pick up the pace ever so slightly and get the two of them working together. He's got his Toyota Supra dialed in at the moment. Hutchins, Dodra and Austin. Dodra and Austin certainly going to be one that we're going to need to keep an eye on as well, because they're coming back close together again. The slippery Supra, is he going to be able to make a move this time around? Let's quickly check on Serrell and Blake. Not these two. Still separated for the moment. Austin right under once again the rear spoiler of Dodra. Is he going to be able to make the move stick this time? We saw him lose a bit of traction on the way out of a corner. Oh, now Slippery Supra v Slippery Supra, and the number 15 has slipped just that little bit wide. Manuel Dodra, he can't afford to do that on the next lap, where he's going to get absolutely flown by Bradley Austin here, and Austin really is putting the pressure on him now. Does he stay behind? Does he bump draft him along the straights? Does he get in front and take the lead? He maybe be wanting to get in front to give his tyres a bit of a break. Yeah, Dodra moving over. I think he's realised just how much more pace that Austin had, and that is Dodra completely yielding the position, and he's lost the slipstream as well. So that I think is a bit of a mistake there by Dodra, if I'm being honest. He really wanted to hang on in there and try and hang on to that slipstream. We'll see what's going on with the top three, and it is still very much as you were, as Buhaja tearing away now, completely uncontested for the last 18 laps up at the front. That is 20 laps completed, and it is Lewis Buhaja who's led from pretty much the start to now. Blake in second, still got Matthew Serrell all over the back of him. We've got a bit of chopping and changing down in the midfield actually, so we've got a three-way battle between Heath, Hutchins and Sanders. Heath making up another position. He started down in 14th place, he's now up to 10th position, so it has been an absolutely solid start for Heath. If he makes up 4 positions every 20 laps, he's going to win the race. That is just the way that works, surely. Buhagiar currently leading the way, though, with Blake in second, Matthew Serrell in third, easy for me to say. Drew Collins in fourth, Llewellyn in fifth, Austin in sixth position, Jason Hutchins in seventh, Dodra is in eighth, Sanders ninth, it's Heath in 10th, Hutchins in 11th position, Brendan Johnson in 12th, Colvin in 13th, and Rob Tilley is closing in on the driver ahead of him, so we could see a bit of slipstream aid for Tilley. It is a phenomenal livery he's got on that car. Deserves a bit of a nosy. Can't quite tell who that is on there, though. Anyone in the chat able to point that out? Do let me know. Oh, and the car ahead's bounced off the wall. Oh, and he's tried to, yep, he's had to take avoidant action there. And that is Matthew Colvin. Big contact with the wall there, and that has brought Tilley back into the race then. Colvin is now going to be carrying a bit of damage, which he definitely does not want to be doing for too long. Let's see what's going on the podium. It is still Blake v Serrell, while Buhagiar smiles off into the sunset. He's got that Mustang absolutely corralled at the moment, and running himself an absolutely solid race up at the front. So his tyre management is going to have to be on point as well. Oh, and that is a bit of a wobble by Lucas Blake there, coming off the high banking. Still finds himself in front of Serrell. Serrell is doing a fair bit of pressurising at the moment. Let's see. I think that's John, and we'll get a look at just how close this battle is between these two. Style points for the livery, surely. I mean, that is definitely an argument that could be made. I do like that. I do like that. Oh, Jay Nelson animation. Would it have been yourself that made that livery by any chance? And do you have any details on who that is on the side? It does look to me like an amalgamation of Harry Potter and Taylor Swift. Not sure why. I know the NASCAR community are big Taylor fans. Oh, and they're also big fans of the nose-to-tail action that we're getting treated to between these two. I did say Charlotte was an interesting course again. Look how severe that banking is. And I'm not sure if Lucas is maybe tyre managing here. Because they're both in the same machine. They're both in the Chevys. It's a Mustang leading the way. I've got a bunch of Toyotas chasing them down. But it is the Chevys at the moment they're battling. So yeah, they're in exactly the same car. So should be capable of the same extraordinary feats around the track. Although it does look at the moment like Serrell is in slightly better position of the car. Manages to get that one nice and low. Lucas has run very high there. That could well cost him the second place. No, it's not. Oh, and the car behind, big bounce off the wall there, but just caught that. Drew Collins. Oh, we've got someone else off track. That's Matthew Colvin. He's ended up off track as well. Now, let me see. Has he actually been in the pits? No, he's not. Oh, he's coming in now, though. He is coming in now. Not really a huge surprise given the damage that we've seen. We've got more battling going on down the field, and it's Rob Tilley who's coming flying back through the field. Is he going to get himself 2 positions on this lap? Potentially, given the way the car's ahead, running wide. That is Brendan Johnson. Just pushing his luck ever so slightly. Daniel Hutchins, the leader of this little group here. Tilley looking to take back in 2 spots of the 5 that he's currently down on where he started. And of course, Matthew Serrell looking to get up another position. Lucas Blake will be keen to get a position back that he's lost early to Buhagiar. But this battle with Serrell is going to keep him more than occupied for quite some time. The drivers were staring down the barrel of doing 33 laps on a set of tyres. I think they are going to get as close to that as possible, just to mitigate the amount of time that they spend in the pits. that's going to be quite the strategy here, especially between these two. Again, in exactly the same machinery. Ooh. They are absolutely nose to tail, still chasing down Bahadjar in the lead. We've got Johnson being chased down by Tilley. Sort of jumping between the two of them there just to check how that battle was playing out. But certainly Tilley and Johnson are looking pretty close. Manuel Dodra is going to be the next victim, and Tilley rockets up the inside. On the way of defence there from Johnson, he realised the quicker car was coming. Oh, the quicker car was coming through as he's clipped the wall. That is another car clipping the wall here at Charlotte. 31 laps in we are already. They're absolutely tearing through the laps at the moment. We've not seen it, touchwood. We've not seen a yellow flag yet. We've certainly seen plenty of cars bouncing themselves off those walls. I can confirm. Does not increase your aerodynamics if you do a bit of panel beating on the way around. It certainly doesn't help with weight saving either. Look at these two again. Absolutely side by side. They don't seem to have lost too much more. They don't seem to have lost too much more time to Bahadjar. Still sitting at that 1.6 seconds, but they're certainly well out with the slipstream on him there. And there is Sanders, who's within half a second. Bahadjar does another 32 flat. That is some incredible times he's putting in there. And in fact, we can check. The best lap time so far is Bahadjar's 30.252, the fastest legal lap. But you can see Lucas Blake there at 30.293. That's how close they are. Oh, and they're very close to the wall as well. Well, they have managed to stay out of it. So yeah, it's all about the wall contact, and we're going to see, I think, a couple more of those dents and bings as the tyres get a bit more wore through. That is 35 laps, so they've now gone beyond where they would needed to have gone if they were using 3 full sets of tyres. I'm not sure. Ah, okay, that's why that's come up. There we go. Back to our regularly scheduled programme. So yeah, Searle and Blake, as I say, 33 laps was the plan. They've already gone for 36, and yep, we've got a couple of cars. Bradley Austin, oh, he's on his way out, and he has picked up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so he's going to get a drive-through. I did mention there was a very tricky track entrance on the way in here, very tricky pit entrance, and Bradley Austin has picked up a drive-through. Unfortunately, in fact, is that? Yes, it is a drive-through for breaching track limits. We'll see if any of the race leaders decide to come in. Bahadjar may well decide to come in out. He's catching up with traffic ahead, although when you've got a 2.5 second lead, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is another car coming in to the pits. The numbers not quite matching what I've got on screen. We've got Bahadjar crosses the line to take another lap. Blake and Searle have both stayed out as well. This is all about tyre management now at this point, and we'll see who can indeed manage them better. Blake is going to have a fairly worn set with Matthew Searle buzzing all over his rear spoiler so far in this race. And we'll see if Searle can get a move done before he comes into the pit. Sanders is getting close. In fact, Rob Tilley as well on an absolute monster comeback charge. Oh, and just as we jump on board, he does have a little bounce against the wall again. Absolutely not what we need, or certainly not what he needs. He is still keeping it close. Sanders, the Colonel, is going side by side with, who's that? Nicholas Heath. Yeah, Nicholas Heath getting himself involved. Heath. And he has made up another 3 positions. So he made up 4 positions in the first 20 laps. He's made up 3 in the next 20 laps. Is he on for a podium still? Potentially. We never know. There is Matthew Searle still all over the back of Lucas Blake, and there is Lewis led from the beginning. Bahadjar as we can see him tearing into the corners. His tyres are now 40 laps deep. We'll see what he does here. Yeah, no, he's staying out. Wow, he's going for a one-stopper. Yeah, that's surely got to be the plan here, unless he picks about 45, then 90. Just a quick splash and dash at the end, depending on what the rest of the competitors are doing. We've still got Heath and Llewellyn dueling away. Llewellyn has dropped from where he started. Heath certainly on an absolute monster charge, and he looks like, oh, he's got a back mark as well. Oh, and I've got a car, Bradley Austin. He's made a meal of it on the way out of the pit exit, and he's crashed the car. He is out of the race as Heath gets the move done on Llewellyn. Oh, as Matthew Searle has come in the pits. Matthew Searle is the first one to drop out of the podium battle as he pulls his way. As we can see, there we go. He's pulled his way into the pits. That's his first stop on lap number 42. I wonder if Blake will answer or just enjoy some of that free running. Now that he doesn't have anyone quite so close, although he does have pitted cars now coming out. That's a quick turnaround by Matthew Searle. He's already on his way back out of the pits. He's going to come back out at 8th position. As yeah, Brendan Johnson has pulled into the pits. Let's see what Behadja does up at the front. He's now 3.7 seconds ahead of Blake. This is an absolute runaway performance from Behadja at the moment, and will massively strengthen his grip on the top of the standings. Back-to-back race wins. He certainly threatened several last season, and it looks like he's going to get his lion's share, get the fair share of them this season after this start. Lucas Blake has stayed out as well, so he is going for the 50-50 strategy as well. He has got some cars that are going to tear past because they've been in the pits. That is of course Daniel Hutchins, who has been in the pits. He has so much more grip. Oh, and that's a bounce off the wall. Surely that's an indicator for Blake to come in at the pits. More smoke comes off the side of the car. Will he come in on this lap, or is he going to push it all the way to 50? We can see how much his tyres are suffering with these little micro contacts with the wall. As Behadja, the race leader, takes the bottom line and pulls away. 45 laps, so we're almost at the halfway mark again. No safety cars so far. Charlotte's one of those, you'll either have a lot of safety cars or none, and at the moment, thankfully, certainly for the drivers, no safety cars so far. It would be interesting to see a restart at this point. Someone bins it on the way out of the pit entrance, and suddenly everyone is scrabbling. There you can see the pressure tyres working their way through. Blake is losing time hand over fist at the moment. He's now almost 5 seconds back. Matthew Searle is in 9th place, and he is on those fresh tyres, so he really needs to put them to the sword at the minute. We'll get a look at the last lap times for the drivers and see just how they're getting on. Yeah, see Searle there, 30.7. So he's about 1.3 seconds a lap faster at the moment than Behadja and Blake, who have still to come into the pits. Sanders and Heath both to do so as well. Rob Tilley still firing through the field. He is back up to 6th position, and it's in a net gain position at the moment. He's actually one spot up where he started, and he's looking to make it another one at the expense of Ryan Llewellyn if he can. He's going to need to pit, of course, but that is, no, it's not quite the overtake there. I thought he was going to get that one nailed right up the inside instantly there, but not to be. The hybrid Sim Sport driver keeps it a bit close. Behadja has stayed out. Yeah, he's going for straight 50-50. Kelly's got the inside line here, using that extra grip. He's got down on the inside line. The Supra really doesn't like being on the outside there, and that is Tilley getting the job done. That's him now up to 6th position. It dropped down the field at the start, but he is tearing his way back through. as we approach the halfway mark, or breach the halfway mark. It is Buhaja in first place. Drew Collins is up to second position. He's got himself past. No, my apologies, he hasn't. That is just... Oh no, sorry, that's them coming out of the pits. It is still Lucas Blake in... Oh no, Collins is in second place. My apologies, sorry. Collins is in second place. He's got himself past Lucas Blake. So the tyres really are suffering for Lucas. There he is there. Yeah, I'm getting some strange readings for Drew Collins here. I'm not 100% sure. What is going on with that? Bear with me a moment. Let me just see. There is Blake coming in now. Yeah, I'm not sure why Drew Collins is... yeah, bear with me a moment. Let me just see. There we go, Collins settling further down the field. Buhaja does finally come at the pit on lap 53. That bodes very, very, very well for him indeed. He's going to have a massive tyre advantage over Matthew Serrell. Here it is. Oh, he's picked up a drive-through. Buhaja's broken the speed limit in the pits. And he's picked himself up a drive-through. Oh, but a couple of meatball flags popping up there as well, but Buhaja... drive-through penalty to be served, and Matthew Serrell finds himself with the back marker, absolutely tank slapping his way left, right and centre across the track there. There is Collins. It does seem to disappear. Yeah, something seems to be up. Bear with me a moment or two, folks. Let's see if we can't. Get some of this sorted. Yeah, SDK having a bit of a moment here. It seems like, yeah, so Drew Collins does keep dropping in and out of the standings for some reason. He is running currently in 4th place. Nicholas Heath is running out in the lead. Tilley in 2nd, Serrell in 3rd. Where is Buhaja? Buhaja's come back at the pits in 9th place. Yeah, Matthew Colvin as well. For some reason seems to be distant, although Colvin is out of the race at the moment. Yep, so we'll make sure we have got that sorted for next week. Not sure what the glitch is with Collins there, but he is running in 4th position. So good solid race for him. There's Rob Tilley coming into the pits. He made it all the way up into third place. Oh my goodness me, how could I not recognise the Smashing Pumpkins? Wow, what a band. I actually performed one of their songs at a school talent show way back when, so that just goes to show. We do have a crash. Ryan Llewellyn, oh. Yep, you can see there, going absolutely. Yep, just locking up on the way into the pit entrance by the look of it, and having to take the Roval to get himself back out again. Manages to do so. That is certainly not going to help, and that is him pulling into the pits. It's Matthew Serrell who is now in the lead. He, of course, pitted much earlier than Lucas Blake and was putting in some very quick laps. Blake is going to have much quicker tyres, but it is Drew Collins who is currently in second place. Yeah, that is a bit of a strange one there. I'm not sure why Collins seems to be showing on a separate leaderboard, but he is being closed in on by Blake at the moment. Blake is in third place behind Collins. There we can see the full list. Yeah, so we'll need to get that looked up. Yeah, Collins absolutely flying for Valhalla. We've got Dodra who is in the pits for a stop. That'll be that one done soon. Sanders and Hutchins actually going side by side. Nicholas Heath getting involved in this one as well. They've come close together after coming out of the pits. Yeah, Dodra comes. Dodra makes his way back out again. It's Heath and Hutchins. Oh, very close. The two of them are getting there. Hutchins doing well to hold on to the position for the moment. Nicholas Heath sends it up the inside. Yeah, Hutchins having a bit too much of a wobble there, and that has thrown him. And I'll tell you what, that's thrown him under the bus as far as Buhadj is concerned as well. Buhadj are coming tearing back. Looking to make amends for that drive-through, and he does so. That is another position back. He's got a long way to go to get himself on to the podium. He needs to catch up to Lucas Blake once again. Matthew Serrell, who ran a lot the first half of this race in third place, has now got himself an 11-second gap. Did pit a fair bit earlier than the rest of the field, so he is going to have much older tyres. Is he going to go for a two-stop? We shall see. Let's see which lap everyone pitted on. What's pit lap? There we go. Yes, you can see 10 laps earlier than most of the other podium sitters at the moment. Hutchins on lap 33, one of the earliest drivers to take a pit stop, and of course Lewis Buhadj on lap 52 as well. He came in for a drive-through. Heath and Sanders swapping positions once again, and that is Nicholas Heath. What a race Heath has had. Certainly didn't qualify anywhere near where you would expect him to, but he does find himself up where we would expect him, and that is up into fourth place. I know that says third, but for some reason again Drew Collins is not fully showing on the board. But we will get that fixed. 10.5 seconds is the gap that he has got to make up. Lucas Blake looking to catch up as well, get himself back up to second. Nicholas Heath looking to get himself on an overall podium. This would be an absolutely worldy of a drive, and I think it would be worthy of style points if he can hold on to even what he's got at the minute, which is a 10 place gain on the rest of the field. Searle still gaining time, and in fact, no, sorry, he's 9 seconds ahead of Collins, 21 seconds ahead of Heath Buhagiar, still running. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. We actually do have a yellow flag, 68 laps in. Wow, this brings them all back together again, and this is a bit of a lifesaver for Lewis Buhagiar after that pit lane infraction. Let's see if we can get a look at what happened. Yep, it's Ryan Llewellyn. Oh, big wow, yeah. Big contact he took on his inside there. That sent his Supra slamming into the sidewalls, and he is completely stationary yet. Quick jump back to the pits for him to get the car repaired, and that will leave the cars behind the safety car. First safety car we've had is on lap 68 out of a 100 lap race. That is quite some going by the drivers to manage to keep their jets cooled for that length of time. We're certainly under the safety car. It is Searle at first, with Drew Collins there in second place. Lucas Blake in third, Heath's in fourth, Buhagiar fifth, and Sanders in fifth position. Yep, and more of them coming into the pits now. Does Matthew? Yeah, of course he does. Matthew Searle comes in. I tell you what, that's played right into the hands of Matthew Searle. That could not be a more perfectly timed yellow flag for him. For the safety car to come out when it did, that has worked massively in Searle's favour, considering he took that pit stop 10 laps earlier than anyone else. Blake has come in for another set of fresh boots as well. I think everyone will, although Buhagiar, sorry, yeah, a few of the drivers will come in. Buhagiar has stayed out because he is not long pitted. So he is not long pitted. He is good to go to the end. And we've seen already, he's more than capable of doing 50 laps. We've only got 30 left. We've 28 racing laps left to go when the green flag drops again. So we'll see what it looks like from the restart. Some beautiful shots of the scenery as well while we wait for the safety car to pull into the pits. Yep, there we go, that's on the go as well. So yeah, who do we favour now after the restart? Certainly after that penalty, Buhagiar would have been absolutely sweating. All that hard work undone at the start of the race. It would have been the cruelest of cruelest finishes if he didn't even get himself on the podium. Oh yeah, just confirmation that there is a safety car. Again, if anybody's wondering, apologies, Drew Collins keeps dropping off the standings. Not 100% sure what is going on with that. If you bear with me a moment, I'm just going to quickly check that he did actually make... Yeah, qualified in third. Okay. So yeah, strange one there. We'll see how many drivers actually came in to pit there. Yeah, nearly all the field. And there is the safety car pulling in. 28 racing laps to go, and there is the green light, and we are going. Green flag, and away we go, and it is Matthew Serrell who gets the absolute drop of the hammer there. No messing about by Serrell, completely off and running. Drew Collins got himself almost a bit caught out there. Lucas Blake has got himself in a big group of traffic. Here comes Lewis Buhagiar on a fresh set of tyres. He led the race out of turn number 1, and he's going to be in a 3 wide. Buhagiar and Blake go either side. Oh, and they've both managed to survive. But it's Lucas Blake has managed to survive even better there. Car 555, who is slightly down on the rest of the field. Finding himself getting involved is Daniel Hutchins. In the order there, just being overtaken by Lucas Blake and Buhagiar. Buhagiar now finding himself in an uncomfortable 4th position. Ethan 5th, Tilley in 6th, Sanders in 7th, is Hutchins 8th, and Brendan Johnson in 9th. Jason Hutchins rounding out the top 20. They're all very close right through the field. Oh, and there's a bounce off the wall again. We've only just got started, and the drivers already flirting with the concrete. That's definitely not what you want to be doing. Nicholas Heath looking close to, and that's going to be a yellow flag potentially. No, it's not that contact. The car did survive. Wow. Tilley managed to avoid that one as well. I thought that was going to land right in his lap there, but he has managed to avoid that. Let's stay with Nicholas Heath then. Oh, Buhagiar. Oh, Buhagiar off track. So let's see what's happening. Oh, he's clipped the wall. Oh, and that's how easy it is to lose the car. Oh, double contact with the wall has kicked him right onto the grass. You tell you what, he's held that well over the grass. Completely off the accelerator, but that has slowed Buhagiar down massively. Oh wow, he's got some work cut. He's got his work cut out for him now. Up at the top though, Matthew Serrell also got his work cut out for him. We've got Drew Collins within 7/10 of a second. 76 laps gone. We've got 24 left to go. We've just had a safety car. I thought we were close to having another one there, but we have avoided a second safety car within 5 laps. That would be insane. 68 laps before we got one, and then 2 within 5 laps almost. Buhagiar back in the pits. Oh, that is absolutely brutal. He had a flawless race for the first half there. Got the drop on the pole sitter, got himself out in the lead, was running very comfortably. A bit of a mistake, an uncharacteristic mistake by Buhagiar as well. Let's face it, when have I ever seen Lewis make a mistake on the way into the pits and pick up a drive-through? It just does not happen. And now he's had a severe contact with the wall. He's had to come in to get the damage repaired. And he's finding himself back out in 8th position. Again, Drew Collins does keep disappearing off that timing tower. We'll look into that for next week. But he is in 2nd place. He's got Lucas Blake not far behind him. So Blake is in 3rd, looking to hold on to a podium spot if he can. And Matthew Serrell is running away with this now. It's hard to tell. Oh yeah, so he is pretty close to Collins, but certainly he is in the driving seat at the moment. As far as this race goes, we're down to, we've got 14 drivers. 12 drivers left in the race, sorry. Colvin and Bradley Austin. Matthew Colvin and Bradley Austin both out of the race at the moment. It's getting close once again. Up at the front, let's have a look on the gearbox of Matthew Serrell. Big loud engine coming out the back of that Chevy, and that is the top 3 at the moment. We are 80 laps in, we've got 20 left to go. And that is another one done. 30.8 for Searle, 30.7 for Blake. Still got Drew Collins chasing him, so yeah, Collins in second. And yeah, for some reason Manuel Dodra is dropping in and out as well. But he has just got the moved on Hutchins. Hutchins is retaking the position. And Dodra is retaking it again, so these two chopping and changing quite some time. There is Lucas Blake. That is... Okay, well, we need to stay on board with Collins so we can actually get a proper readout of that. As you can see, 7/10 behind. Yeah, 7/10 behind and holding on. There's another 30.8 from Searle. 31.1, 31.1, only 3 thousandths separating the lap times of Collins and Blake there, so they've done well to stay close to one another, but certainly Searle is the driver on fire at the moment. He is loving life up at the front. He does have a pretty clear track ahead of him as well. Doesn't look like he's going to have much traffic anytime soon with the cars being spread out as much as they are. We can see there he has got the run of the place to himself and looking absolutely solid and just gaining time. Lap on the rest of the field. That is Collins still in second place, but he's got Lucas Blake within 0.6 of a second. This would be a big win for Collins if he can get himself onto the podium. One of the newer drivers here, certainly going to be a new name in the interview box afterwards if he can hold on to this podium. He's only got 15 laps left to do so. Heath up those 10 spots to 4th place. I know that's showing 3rd, but he is in 4th. Tilley's in 5th, the Sanders in 6th. We've got Johnson in 7th. Bihaja now running in 8th place. Jason Hutchins in 9th, and Manuel Dodra rounding out the top 10. Hutchins in 11th, and Ryan Llewellyn bringing up the rear of the field in 12th place. He's down 7 on where he started. So it's been a rough race for him, but yeah, I think Nicholas Heath definitely on for some style points here. He has made up 10 places to get himself up to 4th, which is no mean feat, both in this field and on this track. I think we'll agree. We've seen some of the very quick drivers. In fact, we've seen all the drivers have a contact with the wall. And in fact, what I'm going to do just having another look to see if we can figure out why Collins is not appearing on the full leaderboard. I cannot, so we'll stop obsessing about that and we'll continue with the race. We do know, we know, Collins currently running in 2nd place, and he's a second ahead of Lucas Blake, who I think is just looking to nurse this one home. He's got a good gap over Nicholas Style points. Heath 10 places Nicholas has made up to get to 4th position, which is absolutely incredible driving. Incredible driving around here. Searle, though, he will be the happiest driver at the moment. 8 to 9 laps into this. He was in 3rd place for the first half of the race. Came in to take his pit stop earlier. 10 laps earlier, in fact, than the rest of the field. And it has paid absolute dividends when we got ourselves that late safety car on lap 68. He's come in, he's taken another pit stop, and he is absolutely running away with it now. Beautiful drive by Searle. That's going to hold him in very good stead in the championship. Collins currently popping up. There he is in second place. Manuel Dodra reappearing on the pit line, on the timings as well. He's going side by side with Daniel Hutchins. Hutchins makes that move. The Supras do not like being on that outside line. They absolutely do not, and that's Daniel Hutchins making his way back up the field. Looking to regain the position he's got. He's got Jason Hutchins just ahead of him. So we'll see if he can close in. A bit of family rivalry. You'll love to see it. We'll see if he can make a move. Hadjar still running in that 8th position. Oh, and he's clipped the wall again. Yep, Charlotte very much doing Charlotte things for quite a few of the drivers. Matthew Searle, though, completely unfazed up at the top. 8 laps left to go, so effectively 5 minutes left. 5 minutes worth of drive until he finds himself crowned the winner of round number 2 race. Round 2 from season 2, sorry, the Tasman Racing League Oval Series, and it would be quite the win. Collins bringing home a solid podium as well. If he can complete the race under current pace, he will look to do so. Lucas Blake looking to round out the podium. Oh yeah, not front of the car, just having a little bit of a bounce there. Ooh, he's had to steer to correct that. Pulls right back into the inside line and straight back out again. Yeah, it's amazing the angles you find in a NASCAR around some of these courses. It's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And we have... yeah, we still have the majority of the field, sorry, on the lead lap. And that is lead laps that are running out. There is the Colonel. Unfortunately, we don't have chase cam for this one. Here it is. So we can see the Colonel on the back of the car. Matthew Searle bringing home a victory parade now. With 5 laps to go. He's got a comfortable 3 seconds over Collins. He's got a 1.5 seconds over Lucas Blake. It doesn't look like we're going to see any more overtakes in the closing stages unless we have some kind of catastrophe, which could happen here at Charlotte. We've already seen how easy it is for the drivers to collect themselves on the walls. Yep, they're all matching themselves for lap times as well. Searle doing an absolutely bang-up job to manage this one. To manage this one from the front and maintain an absolute monster gap that he's got over the rest of the field. I need to take some notes. But yeah, current running order is Matthew Searle in first. It's Drew Collins in second. Lucas Blake in third. Nicholas Heath in fourth place. Rob Tilley in fifth. And Michael Sanders in sixth, followed by Johnson and Hadjar 7th and 8th. Hutchins and Hutchins 9th and 10th. Dodra 11th and Llewellyn bring up the rear of the field in 12th place. Colvin and Austin not making it to the end. Austin dropping out after Colvin. Yeah, Austin currently 5 laps down. Colvin 48. But we are on lap number 98. In fact, we're on lap number 99. We're going to cross the line. And we're going to see Matthew Searle. Yeah, get himself another podium here at Tasman Racing League. Trying to think of his results last season. If he got himself a race win or not, he is certainly going to get one today. That is lap 99 now underway. He has not got long to go. Collins in second, and then Lucas Blake in third place, and that is going to be the season 2 result, round 2 results by the look of it. It's been an absolute cracker at Charlotte again. What a course this is. It really, really, really does keep you absolutely on your toes for the whole 100 laps. We've seen the drivers Just a little bit squirrely here and there, and it just takes a little touch of the wall, and a whole lot of pace is dropped, but none dropped for Matthew Searle. He's run an absolutely perfect race, got himself in a battle for second and third with Lucas Blake, and after he took an early pit stop and then a safety car got involved. It's been an absolutely flawless run for Searle, and he is going to take a very well-deserved checkered flag and a phenomenal race win for Matthew Searle at round number 2. It's going to be Drew Collins who brings home second place. Lucas Blake is going to round out the podium in third, and Nicholas Heath up those 10 places to 4th place. Absolutely incredible drive. Tilly in 5th. Sanders is 6th. It's Johnston in 7th. Louis Bihager finishing in 8th. Cannot wait to get out with the car after that, I'm sure. Devastating result for Bihager. But that's Bihager and Blake. Both had finishes outside the top 5, so it does keep the championship standings that extra bit exciting. There we go. Searle is so excited. He's taking it for a run through the Roval, just so everyone knows he truly is the king of the course. And there is the other 2 podium drivers making their way into the pits, and we should have them in the commentary box very shortly as well. So let's jump over to the studio and see who we can chat to. Yeah, as I say, hopefully we get the actual full results. Oh, my apologies. Yep, so there we go. Matthew Searle in first, Drew Collins in second, and Lucas Blake finishing in 3rd place. Absolutely incredible driving by them all. Let's get back. Yeah, we'll get some replays up and running in a moment. We will be joined in the commentary box by our podium sitters, and yep, good to see we do have all 3 of them in here. So let's start. In fact, let's start with 3rd place and work our way up. Let's start with Lucas Blake. Good evening, Lucas. A tough start to the season last week, finishing outside the top 10. Charlotte very much doing Charlotte things, but you managed to bring home a podium after all that. That was quite the intense race out there, my friend. I would say so, and as far as strategy goes, I mean, originally we were looking at the 3 tyre rule for this one. Didn't quite pan out, but certainly a long first stint and then a very, very, very late safety car. How was your strategy going into the race, and how was it affected by what we saw out on track? Yeah, it certainly seemed to be the way of it with the caution. That is Charlotte out of the way, though. I mean, we move quickly on. We've got ourselves off to Indianapolis next. How are you looking forward to heading out to Indy?
I really enjoy Indy. Indy's one of my favorites for sure. I just won there in the IL-15s over in our Indy series yesterday, and this car's an entirely different beast. I don't think I'm going to win again, but I think I'm going to be in with a chance. I think Indy, Iowa, North Wilkesboro, as long as I can get the tire strategy down, I'm going to have a decent chance to come away with a really good result from all three of those. And I would like to go into the midway break in the lead of the championship, ideally, because that second stretch is going to be really rough for me down the line.
Well, yeah, it certainly is an interesting calendar, and as I say, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Indianapolis next week. And Lucas, some great battling out on track. Congratulations getting your championship charge back on track with a third place, and we'll see you next week for Indianapolis.
Yeah, thank you. See you next week.
There we go then. That was third place Lewis Blake. Next up, we've got Drew Collins, who we owe an apology to. Some issues with the timing tower. Didn't actually show him for most of the race on the timer, but he did bring home an absolutely solid second place, Drew. An absolutely solid performance out there at Charlotte tonight. How are you feeling after that one?
Thank you. Pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting to do particularly well. I was just going to trundle around in the back and have a go, but it worked out for me in the end. So yeah, pretty happy.
It did, yeah. It certainly did work out for you. It worked out very well indeed. How did your race strategy go this evening, given we didn't see any safety cars until late, and we saw some cars, a race leader came in as early as lap 40. How was your strategy changed potentially, or did you manage to stick to what strategy you had coming into the race, especially with that late safety car?
Yeah, well, coming into the race, I had no strategy, so that was a good start. And then when I saw Matt boxed pretty early, I decided I'd stay out for as long as I could and try to have fresher tyres at the end of the race. And so after that, I felt like I was clawing him back a little bit and would be a chance to maybe do something towards the end of the race, but then the safety car came out and nullified all of that, and he was just too fast after that. So I settled in and P2.
Yeah, P2, not too bad at all. Just having some technical fun in the back. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Indianapolis next week. Any previous experience here? How are we looking forward to a run at Indy next week?
The only experience I have at Indianapolis is in the IndyCar and the IL-15, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I don't do a lot of stock car racing, so all of it is pretty new to me.
Well, for being fairly new to you, that is quite the result you've managed to pull together this week, my friend, especially considering the podium battle we had. So, massive congratulations on a podium on your first outing, and very keen to see what you do for the rest of the season going forward, Drew.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely welcome. There we go then. That was Drew Collins finishing in second place on that one. But of course, the man of the moment, Mr. Matthew Serrell, found himself for a long time, it has to be said, in third place with a battle with Lucas Blake, but brings home the race win after a topsy-turvy race. Matthew, how was that race for you, and how many bullets did you sweat in that opening battle with Lucas Blake?
I'm not sure about bullets, but I am definitely sweating a lot at the moment. I'm keen for a shower after this interview. But no, it was a great race. The battle with Lucas was quite fun. I tried not to actually push too hard and really battle him. He was taking a slightly different line on corner entry, so I knew that he was probably wearing his tyres out a lot more than mine. So I was happy to just sort of sit back and manage mine as best I could. And then, I took the early pit stop to try and undercut them, and it seemed to have worked.
Yeah, it did. Talking about that early pit stop, there's a reason I commentate and don't race. Quite clearly, Matthew, you know what you're doing. You took that pit stop 10 laps earlier than anyone else. Were you praying for a safety car at that point, or were you going for a two-stop, or were you just going to do 60 laps on the second set of tyres?
No, I was fully planning to do a one-stop. I knew that once I came in, I need to do a little bit of tyre management and fuel saving. But I was sort of expecting a safety car to come out at some point. But if one didn't, I was pretty confident I'd be able to go to the end. When I came out, I was still about, I think, 15 seconds ahead of Drew when I started doing my saving, and yeah, I was easily there, able to go to the end on fuel as well. So one stop planned, eventuated as a two-stop, but same result, I guess, with the win.
Indeed, yeah. And give us a quick talk, before we mention Indy next week, give us a quick talk about Charlotte itself. I mean, we saw quite a few of the drivers have some more than just slight contacts with the wall. This really is a tricky course to come off the banking at the last corner.
Yeah, 100% it is. The way the track drops away a little bit, you sort of need to just hold it a little bit longer before you exit the corner, because if you can easily lose the rear end and just understeer into the corner. So it is a tough track to gain, but once you sort of get the hang of it, it's a really, really fun track to drive, especially in these cars.
Oh, I love driving the Xfinities. So much fun. So much fun. And speaking of fun in the Xfinities, Matthew, Indianapolis next week. I will be looking forward to that bad boy.
Looking forward to it. I don't think I'm going to have the same result as I did today. It's definitely more so geared to open wheels, because we did the IndyCar yesterday, and I don't have any experience in this car on that track. So I don't think I'll have the same result, but still looking forward to it regardless. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I can tell you, from my point of view, absolutely looking forward to it as well. I'm counting down the minutes until we'll launch the green flags next week. But until then, Matthew, enjoy the victory. A hard-fought and well-deserved victory. Some very good championship points coming your way, and cannot wait to see what you can get done for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Good call as well.
Thank you. There we go then, folks. That was the podium. That is Matthew Serrell on screen at the moment, and what a result. He's brought himself home. Lucas Blake on the fight back after 11th last week, and Lewis Behadjer getting first. The two of them have swapped fortunes this week. Our two main championship rivals finding themselves once again at opposite ends of the finishing order. So the championship standings next week are going to make for some very, very, very interesting reading indeed, but still plenty more racing to come. As I mentioned, we have, of course, Indianapolis next week, which should be showing... Yes, so we've got Indianapolis next week, so do make sure you tune in for that one. Absolutely cannot wait to see what the drivers get done out there. Of course, thank you to everyone that has tuned in for this one here on TrackSpotTV. Absolute pleasure to have you all in here, and we cannot wait. We're back tomorrow, of course, with more Tasman Racing League. It's the Road Series, so make sure you get tuned in for that one. And of course, I know we will see you back for Indianapolis next week. So until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.